In the third week of the RJR murder trial, the prosecution continues its effort to prove the defendant, Chad Isaak, murdered four people the morning of April 1st, 2019. Brooke Williams has been following that trial closely. Brooke, what came out in today's testimony?
Well, Nicholas, I want to get to some testimony that happened just within the last hour. The last witness called to the stand today was a forensic biologist, and he testified about samples taken from Isaak's truck, and he said that there was some DNA connection found between at least some of the victims and Isaak based on those samples from Isaak's truck. That was a big focus of the testimony today. Other witnesses also testifying about the DNA and blood evidence and what it shows. BCI Special Agent Pat Leonards testified blood was present on and in Chad Isaak's vehicle.
The person who had operated this vehicle likely had blood on their hands or on their person getting into the vehicle and then operating it at some junction.
But the defense challenged the validity of those findings.
So the reason you end up doing the lab testing is this product will actually detect false positives on occasion as well, correct?
It does have the ability to do false positives, yes.
And what sort of things would it be falsely positive for?
I've been instructed that there are some fruits, some citric citric acid type fruits that will give a false positive. I've not confirmed that myself, but bleach or cleaning solutions will give a false positive, and I've actually done that myself.
Point is, the test doesn't determine anything.
North Dakota Crime Lab analyst Emily Hogue also testified that samples taken from Isaak's truck tested presumptively positive for blood and were sent for further analysis. Other items belonging to Isaak were absent of blood, but the lab analyst did find something else of interest.
Did you notice anything odd about that wristwatch?
In my worksheet, I noticed, or I recorded that there was spots, white spots or white residue that was characteristic of either water spots or bleach.
There was no human blood detected on the firearm parts from the residence, correct?
Correct.
The day's testimony also revealing details about Isaak's personal life. BCI Special Agent Joe Ahrens acknowledging the information gathered provided investigators little insight into Isaak.
He had been married and divorced. He had a daughter, had spent time in the military as a medic, had been, I believe he went to chiropractic school in Iowa, and then he had family that had lived, I believe, in the Hazen area, and I believe he was a chiropractor for a short time for a while in Hazen, and his clinic, he moved or opened a clinic in Washburn. We didn't have a lot of information on him.
The defense continued to point to a confirmation bias, trying to show that once investigators closed in on Isaak, they spent little time looking at anyone else.
So the focus at that point was directly and almost entirely on Dr. Isaak, correct?
I would say yes.
You didn't even interview Jackie Faulkner about the alleged affair that her husband had until April 30th, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever determine Lisa Nelson's ex-husband's name?
I don't recall if we did. I now know it, but to say that I knew it back then.
Did you do any sort of investigation into their marital history, his criminal history?
No, I did not.
The defense working to create reasonable doubt as the state sets out to prove the Washburn chiropractor is the only person who could be responsible for the murders. You heard me mention that forensic biologist who testified about samples taken from Chad Isaak's truck and the DNA connection found there. We'll hear more from that forensic biologist at 6, but the defense has not yet had the opportunity to cross-examine that witness. We expect that will happen tomorrow. Nicholas?
Brooke, thank you very much. And you can continue watching our coverage of the trial on our Facebook page or on our website, kxnet.com.